Hello, Chicago White Sox fans. This is Pregame Podcast 11. For a normal team that's in the playoffs a bunch and stuff, we'd be on like 50. But it seems like just the only one we ever do every year is opening day because there's just not too much else to get excited about. Although this year we'll have two because there'll be a home opener Pregame Podcast as well. So guaranteed two. Lucky you. Jumping Joe Creedy on a pogo stick. It is opening day in MKE, drizzly, chilly, on its way down to like 25 degrees, but not for opening day. Milwaukee hosting the Chicago White Sox for opening day, and I'm lucky enough to be hanging out, chatting with three of my best friends in the whole wide world. It's Chrystal O'Keefe, recapper on Mondays and Thursdays, except for days the host decides to steal from her, like opening days. Hannah Filippo, straight out of the West Coast, she wants us to believe, and Melissa Sage-Bollenbach, who may or may not be with us for the entire half-hour program. If you're lucky, she'll be there for every one of the 30 minutes. Welcome all, and let's kick it off with excitement. It's the 2026 White Sox, and I'm fired up. Uh, let's talk about things you're excited about for 2026 open day specifically. Maybe not necessarily White Sox specifically, but it's been a rough year already, but baseball's here. The White Sox are destined. Oh, God, I cursed it. Destined to be better in 2026. And so there's stuff to be excited about. Crystal, what has got you excited about the Chicago White Sox 2026?
Um, I will just say the friends that we make along the way are what I'm most excited about. Uh, because I'm feeling kind of negative Nancy right now, but I know that Saturday I will get to see Hannah and Allie and some
Mhm.
other friends, some Brewers friends too. So I'm more just excited to hang out with all my BFFs and watch sad baseball.
Southside Sox coverage teams teaming through the greater Milwaukee area. Not obnoxiously like the fans and writers from that other side of town, because we ain't them. Uh, looks like we have a fourth guest join the program, believe it or not. One-time resident of Hannah Filippo's background. It's Super Joe Reeses joining us in progress. You haven't missed a thing except for the usual completely exhausting intro from the host. Hannah, now that you are second on my grid here, give me something you are excited about. You can just piggyback on Crystal's friends along the way, because frankly, that might be high on the short list. But what's something that's got you jazzed about 2026 in the Chicago White Sox?
It sounds bad, but I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to only like half of my week being ruined by the bullpen and not the entire week. No, no, I actually think that it will be better this year. I think the games, I have so many games planned already. I'm ready to go have a hot dog at like 11 a.m. tomorrow. Like I'm ready. It's nice to basically mark the beginning of spring, knock on wood, here in the Midwest.
White Sox, every podcast, we just give stuff away to you. So feel free to use those pocket schedules I know are getting printing. There's a second printing going on, 2026 Chicago White Sox. It sounds bad, but that ellipsis says a lot. And again, you can send a thank you note and maybe a couple free tickets to Hannah Filippo in via the Bay Area. Melissa Sage Bollenbach, if you are prepared to speak and able to, please, I beg you. Apparently, the cup is sort of more full than usual. I guess in March, that's when it would be at its fullest. So give us one or even two things you're excited about Chicago White Sox.
Munetaka Murakami. That is what I'm
Ah,
excited about. It's been a while since we've had like a player that's come in for us to be excited about. And I just really he seems like a fun guy. I mean, the whole thing with the bidets, and he just seems he just seems like a fun guy. Somebody you really want to pull for. And so I'm really excited to see how the season plays out for him.
to Chrystal's point, it really underscores how dreary the 2020s have been for the White Sox when we say a guy's come onto the team and he's bringing some good stuff and some fun, the first thing we list is that he forced the team, or it just sort of happened, to install bidets in the clubhouse. But hey, you got to start somewhere. This is a long climb up from, the worst team in modern history. So, okay, Joe Reeses, you probably stole your thunder, but top that, what are you excited about in 2026?
Yes, I was going to say Murakami. I will stick with that answer. When they signed him, I was very happy about it. Initially, when I saw the headline, I was like, "Oh my goodness, did the Ishbias take over?" I was like, "Oh my goodness, like, isn't he gonna get like almost nine figures from this?" I was,
and then you saw the amount and said, "Oh, it makes
disappointed.
sense."
Yes, I was a little bit disappointed when I saw that, oh, they actually it's his market actually took quite a hit
Got him
near
in the
the
bargain
end.
bin. Yeah.
So this, yeah, I'm like, okay, never mind. This is very much within the Reinsdorf
Oh,
pay range. But I will offer a related additional thing to be excited about, which is that I think gradually in 2026 we will see a little bit more involvement from the Ishbias. I think we will start to see them, putting a little bit more of their fingerprints on the ways that the White Sox are run, and you know, we won't have to rely on free agents markets, taking a hit in order to be within the White Sox price range. Um, I think that's ultimately the biggest single factor in the White Sox fandom that is that most of us are wanting. We want someone who's willing to actually spend money and isn't only looking to win in a very, very specific way. With the Phoenix Suns, we've seen that they will find many ways to compete, which, whereas, the White Sox, they caught lightning in a bottle in 2005, and they've been trying to, operate under the same strategy ever since then. And I think that we will start to see them, being more flexible and actually acting like a team that, competes in a large market.
well, it's interesting that you cite the Phoenix Suns, Joe, because the Phoenix Suns do exist to prove the adage that you can spend a lot of money, and this idea that we just please spend money doesn't necessarily equate to success. But at least you feel like maybe you're using all the tools at your disposal. In Chicago, for God's sake, we operate this team like we're in Omaha. Joe, I dare say, not that I wouldn't have said this going in, but your cup is overflowing. You might be the same. If you really think there's going to be like spending fingerprints in June or July, I mean, man, I hope you're right. God help us
Yeah,
if you're not, because we're in for
for
another rough
sure.
year.
I feel the need to say something.
Please.
Yeah, so I understand this is a White Sox podcast, and I will do my best to, have a neutral attitude and, give, dish out criticism where it is due. However, I still have not come down from the extreme high of Indiana football winning the college football playoff. And um, it's from my standpoint, I literally find it difficult to complain about anything related to sports. And there hasn't been a day that's gone by since then that I haven't, thought about that season. So I am probably being too positive right now, but that is the reason why.
Well, congratulations, Joe. Speaking as a fan or an alum of a team as unlikely to get to a championship game, and when getting there, got utterly annihilated, embarrassed, and decimated. I'm glad it worked differently for you. And it's interesting that on a podcast now, you have managed to insert the same thing you insert in any minor league update that involves someone from the state of, or certainly from the University of Indiana. So we have not heard that in a podcast yet, I don't believe. So congratulations for wedging that in. Warranted, really warranted, maybe for the first time in ever. And I hope you have more occasion to insert Hoosier talk into our White Sox podcast. No sweat. Okay, well, Joe is existing on fumes, so I'm not really sure, as much as he just gave the disclaimer, that we can really trust any of his assessments in 2026 because he is feeling the vibes. But listen, it is due to be better. All right, let's flip it because we got to. This is a White Sox podcast, so there's always going to be the fires of hell tickling our feet. So let's let those fires tickle. Um, Joe, just so we can get like increasingly uh, frightened by the assessments that we all offer, I'm going to go right back to you. Give me something, if it's possible, to fight through the who's your haze, something that's really creeping you out or that you are apprehensive about in terms of this coming season. Because believe it or not, if you haven't been paying attention because you've just been so jazzed with the vibes, there's still a lot of things to worry about.
Oh yes, the entire outfield is looking pretty sketchy right
When they have
now.
six outfielders on the roster, isn't some combination going to work?
I sure hope so. Maybe they'll get lucky somewhere in there, but yeah, they have a ton of outfielders on their roster, like you said, but I just don't think that any of them are going to be good. Yeah, they're still paying Benintendi a lot of money. Um, Luis Angel Acuna, who is not a switch hitter, actually. I think I think he's got a decent career ahead of him. I don't think he's going to be decent this year, though. I could see him getting off to a rough start, especially at the plate. I think he'll probably like barely crack 600 OPS, but like I could see him falling under that mark. Yeah, there's just not a ton of not a ton to be excited about from that standpoint. In- Brooks Baldwin, I suppose, could, he's still young. Maybe he'll surprise me, but I doubt it. Yeah, overall, it's just difficult to find really any sort of names within the organization to be excited about at any of the outfield positions.
Let me translate that for you, for all you listeners and viewers. What Joe means when he says Luis Angel Acuna won't be good this year, but he'll be good sometime in the future. He means when he's out of the White Sox organization and he gets actual coaching and teammates, et cetera. So like with the Phillies, in 2027 or 8, he'll probably be really good. So I hope I'm not misstating your intentions, Joe, but I think we know what that means. I'm picturing, given that it's 6, that's a nice even number. I'm picturing White Sox with like a home run trench coat or something. They're going to bring that back, except they're going to just send one guy on the other shoulders. So all 6 are going to get out there. They're going to be about 8.5 feet tall. Well, I guess that'd be about 12.5 feet tall. Probably lose a little bit of range in the outfield, but having a guy on the left side and the right side of the batter's box every at bat, yeah, it could help the offense. I mean, maybe that's Getz's strategy. I don't really know what it is. Not having a major league outfielder in your major league outfield doesn't seem to be a good strategy. So there's got to be something he's not telling us. Chrystal, jump up to you. Okay, you've already admitted, besides the friends, there might not be a whole lot you're excited about, despite Billy Okay getting so excited about the Mune signing that you're probably going to at least twice the games you would have planned on anyway.
True.
What's something that's particularly creeping you out about this team?
I never thought I would come on a podcast and say like justice for Corey Lee, but here I am, saying justice for Corey Lee. Why do we have like the parking lot wanker back on this team? This is embarrassing. Um, but I mean, so catching is not great right now with my man Kyle Teal out. I don't have high hopes. Half of our pitching staff is out now, like with losing Mike Basil and losing Drew Thorpe and all that. That makes me really anxious. And then to Joe's point, there is like no legitimate outfielder right now. Like our star outfielder is Andrew Benintendi with the noodle arm. So I just don't feel great about anything that's happening right now, and which is wild because like I don't know, like 3 weeks ago I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a good year, and now I'm like, oh wait, never mind, we're back
The
to
reality of opening
what I
day is starting
expected.
to encroach, and yeah, I mean, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like the test you think you were going to pass. It's like, well, wait, I don't need to study, or I'll study the night before. It's like, oh boy, there was a lot more to study for than I thought. Yeah, the McGuire thing that is odd to me. It's not like it's a minor league pick. It's not like a waiver guy. It's like you dump him when Teal's back. You've committed a year. I mean, granted, 1.25 million or whatever. Oh, Jerry, I'm sure not saying that, but this is a guy you would likely be dumping. I mean, Corey Lee couldn't have patched. You DFA him in I don't know, May or June. It seems a little odd, but the leadership qualities of a Reese McGuire. I mean, I think we're underselling because man, that guy can park. Hannah Filippo, okay, give it to. I mean, listen, let's be honest. I mean, I hate to have to do this. This is a couple of podcasts now that I'm having to bring this up. We have been discussing technically, given Hannah's selected the Cubs to win a pennant, there was serious discussions that she might have needed to serve out a suspension. We were talking 3 months, 6 months. I was thinking a year, but you had a lot of supporters, Hannah. So you survived any formal discipline.
It's
But
okay.
that said,
I'll put myself in jail. It's okay. I deserve it.
show yourself. Yeah, I know you didn't like doing it. Believe me, I know you didn't like doing it. I really know you didn't like doing it, which is why I was a little surprised to see. But that said, okay, so besides the fact that you've decided to see, oh, Joe, don't think you're escaping scrutiny here either. Boy, I forgot that almost 2/5 of this podcast should technically be in suspension. If I had my way, thank God I don't have my way. Boy, just think how terrible this site would be if I had my way about maybe anything. Hannah, give me something about these White Sox that are sort of getting you down.
I'll give you two things. One,
Okay.
I don't like the schedule in the first half. Not that, I mean, even though they've changed it to playing every team, I don't like the way that it's looking. I mean, you have two series against the Angels and you have two series against the Twins to kind of pad some wins. But I'm not looking at many months saying, oh, I can see at least three sweeps here, or I can see like, oh, those are going to be give me series. No, I don't see that at all. And probably because I don't think anything's guaranteed with this lineup. We saw really great results. We saw what the highs could be last season, but I am very hesitant to say that will be the exact same production, and I think it's hard to expect them to for Mydra, for Caro, Teal, Montgomery, for all of them to come out and play at least 240, 250 ball consistently. And it's not a knock to them. There's growing pains, and this is only their second year, so expecting that much is difficult for me.
And before you get to number two, and yet you, among your abominable predictions, and Joe, I'm looking at you too, said that the White Sox would have a winning record at some point after tax day. Now, of course, you can go back and change that. Opening day hasn't happened yet, but you think they will bob a game or two for a little bit before that schedule really starts to grind them down.
Yes, but now you have me second guessing myself.
Hey, there's time to change it. There's time to change. I just
See.
had to check. I'm like, okay, because quite a few people said that, and you guys are all high. Okay, Hannah,
At
there was a
first,
number two. Yeah, Joe,
yes,
please
I will just say
defend yourself.
at first I
Uh-huh.
was like, no way that's going to happen. However, after I looked at the schedule, I was like, I mean, these they actually have some pretty weak opponents to begin the
Okay.
season.
All
I
right.
think they will very briefly get there.
Okay.
We'll see. I could really see this one going either way. It's
Uh,
kind of a tough call, but I'm like, they'll take advantage of an easy schedule early on enough to where they'll very briefly be over 500, I think, after April 15th.
and keep in mind, because I'm such a dour person, keep in mind that they fall six under at any time this year. They will be at the lowest franchise mark over 126 years ever. So White Sox, good luck with that. Hannah, do you have something else to be dour about?
The only thing is with the looming lockout, I don't see any extra money being
Mm,
spent at the deadline. I do
mm-mm.
not see a pinch
Money cut. Oh
penny
yeah, but money
going
added?
out.
No, no, for sure. Yeah. As that is so positive what you just said. The only other thing, yeah, right. You got a list about 15 or 20. We all do. Melissa, please sock it to us. Something, the number one negative that you're scared about, because I know there's more than one.
I was afraid there wouldn't be any by the time it got to me, but nobody said
Oh,
mine, so I'm still there.
okay.
The starting rotation has me up at night. They're just, I don't know. There's no, like, there's not a single guy really in the rotation we can be like, I think we have like a 50-50 chance when he goes up. Like Shane Smith, like last year, he was great. Like, but I just don't know if he can repeat that. Like, I don't know if 2026 he can do that again. And just some of how spring training went. I know you can't, hedge your bets on how spring training goes, but like nobody just wowed me and like gave me the confidence to be like, okay, like I feel that we can be competitive with the starting rotation. Like I feel like it's just waiting to implode. It's just not good. It's going to be ugly.
Yeah, Lee Allen in his last game thread or game write-up said, like, oh, Anthony Kay has been the best pitcher in spring training. Then he goes out and gets his tiny handed to him in his last start, which again, these are all fake games, but I don't know. As time goes on, they start to get realer and realer. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with some speed round stuff about opening day and the White Sox and blah, 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 all that stuff. We got to keep talking baseball for another 10, 15 minutes. So we'll be back in about a minute, and I promise some fascinating content. So stick with us for a minute. Hey, White Sox fans, pregame podcast number 11. We first hatched the idea of pregame podcasts. I believe the first one was good old Dr. Sam Sherman back in the day. I believe that was after a Carlos Rodon no-hitter, maybe. And boy, I'm sure at that time I thought, man, we're going to have like scores of these. We're going to be on like number 200 by now. Nope, we're on 11. We'll be on 12 next week, and then it'll probably be sayonara until 2027. That's just how this White Sox team is. That said, speed round stuff. First of all, well, hey, listen, we haven't talked much about our opponent and all that. Hey, come on, that analysis is boring. Who cares? They're a good team. That was finding a way to win. They beat hell out of the Cubs. We love that. Definitely, all of us here must be have the Brewers as our second, third, fourth. Can't be lower than fifth team. Come on, they're local. They beat hell out of the Cubs despite spending 1/20th of what they do, and they're obnoxious. Oh, anyway, this is not the Bleed Cubby Blue podcast, so I'll just shut that down. Shut up. Okay, how is this opening series going to go? Weather will not be a factor, as it will be very likely when it comes time for White Sox home openers, because it'll still be early April. I hear the weather's not always great in early April in Chicago. I don't know. Been away for a while. How's this opening series going to go? 3 games, I believe. And you can also say, well, somehow one will get canceled. But White Sox going to get swept, win 1, win 2, shock the Brewers, and sweep. Melissa, going right back to you. How's it going to go?
I think I have them winning 1. I feel like maybe they'll get the middle game. Opening day, you're away. I think the Brewers probably take that, and then maybe we get lucky in the second game, and then the Brewers probably tie us up in the third game. And so we'll win 1. But hey, if we can win in Miami for me while I'm there, that would be better.
Okay, like maybe on the off day they got to air the place out because of all the beer drinking and belching or what and brats and whatever. And then like the maybe it snows and they can't close it in time. And so then they're like playing through some snow or sled. Yeah, I could see the middle game going the White Sox way then. Boy, I mean, the Brewers apparently. Okay, speaking of Brewers, local talent took her cuts once in the batter's box there up in MKE. Hannah, how is this going to go for the White Sox? Is it going to be a real sad opening weekend, or are they going to surprise?
I'll agree that they take the middle game. I think that tomorrow, I think Shane Smith actually does well. Maybe he gives up a run in four and a third innings, and then the bullpen comes in and blows it, is my guess.
Yeah.
I think
You'll
I think Smith gives enough of a runway for the Sox to win the game. but they can't pull it off.
You'll forgive Hannah. She's completely addled by the fact that she picked the Cubs to win the pennant. She said tomorrow, of course, that's an off day. So what you meant, of course, was Shane just in mere minutes will be taking the mound to pitch a really good game on opening day. Now, as opening day, I mean, we can smell the brats and the onions and whatever else they make up there. Come on, do they serve anything else from brats and onion and beer in Milwaukee? I don't know. I haven't been up there in a long time. Okay, as we smell that. Okay, how does that inspire your prediction for this series, Chrystal O'Keefe?
I agree. Selfishly, I would like for them to win
Oh, well,
game
sure.
two,
For
since I'll be
you,
there.
yeah, of course.
I
Yeah.
also, I guess if it's not Davis Martin, I also trust Sean Burke a little. I mean, he did great last year, right?
Yeah, opening day was awesome last year, and then yeah.
So I have a little bit of trust in Sean Burke. So I think they could take game two, but get blown out otherwise for the other two.
Okay, my theory of the roof getting stuck and snow somehow affecting the outcome of game two, I think is really getting some footing here, even though no one else has actually agreed with me on the details. Joe Reeses, uh, you gonna just you're gonna allow everyone just to run the board with a 1 out of 3, or are you gonna have a bold stance?
I'm gonna go with 1 out of 3. And I will say Davis Martin gets it done. He'll have a really good start. I'm kind of surprised. I see no one picked him for pitcher MVP, which kind of surprises me. He was very, very
We
popular
got
for
burned
that
last year, Joe.
Yes. I'll be the Davis Martin hype train person for this podcast. I'll say he pitches really well, carries them to a win in his start against the Brewers, but yeah, on the road in Milwaukee against a team that will probably be pretty good. Yeah, the White Sox are certainly going to be underdogs in this series. I won't predict a sweep because I mean that's just unlikely that they'll lose all three. But yeah, yeah, the 1 out of 3 is jumping out at me for this opening series.
Okay, let's talk about win total for these White Sox has come up in the past, maybe not throughout the offseason the way it has in past seasons, and that's probably mostly because we didn't have many podcasts in the offseason. Oh, apologies. I know you missed us. We're back now. We got tons of podcasts for you now. There's Visiting Dugout. There's Ladies Night, pregame, postgame podcast, regular Mothership podcasts, the Sharing Sox guys, if Will ever stops acting, and Lee's just hanging around waiting to do podcast. Speaking of, Lee Allen has made his prediction: 66 wins. Somehow, someone has finally undercut me as the most dour. Go figure, the two most grizzled veterans of Southside Sox picking short of 70. We have Hannah Filippo at 74. We also have Melissa Sage-Bollenbach at 74. Joe Reeses, 70. Myself, 69. Chrystal O'Keefe, uncommitted. So, Chrystal, let's just put you on the hot seat without a prediction yet. What are you thinking? We're all dying to know. Are you actually going to undercut Lee and I? What is your thought on wins for this season?
I'm going to go 78 wins.
Whoa! And you're coming in not feeling so great. So you
I mean,
definitely
I'm
expect there's
negative,
going to be
but
some
I'm going to go
fever.
78.
Okay. So there's going to be a fever you're going to catch at some point because
They're
78 is not reflective of your state right now.
At some point they've got to get it. They just need a little time to gel together.
Wow.
They'll get it. They'll get there.
Wow. Man, Joe, you were overflowing, but Crystal's just busted you. I mean, obviously there's something going on in the water of Indiana or former Indiana residents and Hoosier fever. I mean, look at this. You said you're thinking about the championship once a day. I think Crystal's thinking about it like twice a day. You better step it up.
I mean, I
to.
was at IU when Joe was in like middle school. So
There's a connection there. You kept the seats warm. Sure.
exactly. I was
Sure.
very excited too. I'm with Joe.
Okay. Melissa, Hannah, equal wins prediction, blown away by Chrystal. But talk amongst yourselves. Oh, well, talk to our podcast listeners about why, what'd you say, 74? Oh, 74. Boy, even your cups are pretty full. Explain yourselves. At the same time, if you'd like, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, so I think we win a few more of those one-run games. Um, the bullpen still not great, but I do have a little faith in Dominguez. And so when you pair him with Taylor, I think that some of those close games, we win a few more of those. I do think that having so many young guys, the offense is going to be like really, it's going to be streaky, but it's going to be like, it's just going to come in these like bursts. And so I think there's going to be enough of the offensive bursts to give us that bump to get us to 74. So I'm trying to have the cup be a little more full, but I'm sure give me like 2 weeks and I'll be ready to dump it on somebody's head.
Yeah. Okay, Hannah, I was not convinced at all by Melissa's argument. In fact, I think I'm going to go and revise my win total downward. So your challenge now is to convince me why 74 wins makes any sense at all.
I'll turn it around. I don't see how under 70 wins is possible with it. Like I I personally would see this season as a failure if they lost less than more they won less than 70 games. And I just think there's two, even if the product right now is I I can see Hagen Smith or Noah Schultz coming up and making some impact. Might not be meteoric, but it'll be an impact enough to push some games along. I'm hoping Braden Montgomery comes at least early in the second half to deliver some extra runs, and I think if those things can be on top of just what was there last year, it can be done. I think 74 can be done surely with just a few extra guys from the minors.
To you, me, and the world, Hannah, that is Southside Sox #1 White Sox prospect, Braden Montgomery. Thank you, Melissa, for your yeoman work there for 2 straight years. Okay, Joe, quickly, you're somewhere in the middle. And listen, I know you had to really fight through the haze of the Hoosier Fever to have like a sober assessment of this team. Um, why did you pick him for 70, 72, whatever you picked
Yeah,
him for?
yes. There are just too many question marks. I could see them surviving pretty well against weak opponents, but I mean, when we get into the dog days of facing um a lot of playoff teams, I I think that there are just too many question marks in terms of, will do they have anyone on the in the outfield slots who is going to stick long term? Melissa touched on the
Other
rotation
than
as well.
Benintendi.
Yes. Is anyone in the rotation a sure thing? Not really. Like, the one thing I've come to expect with the White Sox is like a lot of times when they have these question marks, they tend to go on these major cold streaks where it seems like they just can't get things right. So they'll have short spurts where they'll look like a competent, average-ish team, but by and large, they will have enough cold streaks mixed in there to where, yeah, I don't think they're quite ready to make that next step and get into like the mid to high 70 range just yet. I think they have the potential to get there, but there are too many spots that I'm unconfident in. And, the White Sox, I think at this point, I'm not really willing to give the benefit of the doubt on when there are this many positions that we're unsure about.
Yeah, I listen, I love all the sun here, and I'm not here to be dour, but the benchmark being 10 wins, and if it's not at least 10 wins, the season is disaster, man. Hannah, I do not want to have to get you ready for some disappointment, but I mean there's a more than zero chance of that, and I would say a pretty significant chance, and that's a shame because there's very few ways this team is demonstrably better. The hitting for a year with the young guys and the bullpen improvements, yeah, I mean that get you 10. I'd pick 9 because I don't know, because I'm a jerk, whatever. But I mean, man, the idea is like 10, 15, 20. I mean, Chris, I don't want to get into Crystal's thing, but I mean, we'll blame it on the Hoosiers. That's fine. All right. Ultra speed round. We got a minute left. One word answer or thereabouts. Are the White Sox the last place team this year, or is it going to be the Twins? Hannah Filippo.
Wins.
Joe,
Twins.
Melissa,
Wins.
Chrystal. Oh, well, Chrystal, of course.
Twinkies.
They're definitely the last place team. And it is a sweep because I also believe, this is despite the fact I think they're going to win 69 games. The Twins are going to be worse. The Twins are horrible. And I find it offensive that folks think somehow the Twins on fumes or something are going to be decent. Okay, that's it. We are just mere minutes away. You can hear there in the distance the glove popping in the bullpen of Shane Smith throwing. Man, he's I think he's pumped like 102 in the bullpen. So it's destined to be a great opening day for the White Sox. We will be back with you at postgame for a postgame podcast. Oh, I don't know, number 22 or so. Until then, mere hours away. Hang with us and tune right in to us. When the game's over. Thanks, everybody.